Fuck you, I'm smarter, bitch.
I can't believe you're gonna rig this game.
We don't want to feel dumb anymore.
I feel so stupid right now.
We're here to find out if we're actually dumb. Don't ask us any questions.
Two bumbling morons. Fuck you, I'm smarter.
Welcome to Fuck You, I'm Smarter, the comedy game show where we compete with the guests to be crowned the smartest person in the room Zoom.
Yeah, the room Zoom.
Hi,
That's what it
Kels.
is now. Hi, Linz. How are you doing?
Good. I feel better now that we talked about Bring Back the Mime.
Yeah, I'm really glad that we got that all out in the open, and it's very clear, and that has been explained, and now we know what we have to do.
Great. We have to bring back the mimes,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this week's guest. Friend of friends of the pod.
Friend of friends of the pod. No better friends than a friend of a friend.
We love Nick and Nick, and this is very good friend of Nick Turner.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the other Nick.
I like both Nicks.
Yeah.
I don't discriminate against. I'm not a Nick discriminator.
Oh, we're gonna make you choose one today, though.
Yes, we are. That's why we brought you
Better
here
off.
today.
It's the easy batter on.
Fair enough.
Great. So we have Brooks Wheelan today, who hosts a podcast called Entry Level. You've seen him on Comedy Central. You've seen him on Conan. You saw him on SNL. Welcome, Brooks.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Yeah, no, what a nice Thursday afternoon podcast.
Yes.
Yes.
That's how we would like to forever now be known. A nice Thursday afternoon podcast.
Yes, and Brooks.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice outside. It's going to go for a walk or jog after this. It's going to be great.
Great.
Perfect.
You
It's
know,
a great
I
day.
want to thank you so much, Brooks, not only for doing the show, but now that you've done the show, I've learned so much about Iowa. I can't wait to dive in. Because
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because you are from Iowa, says your Wikipedia. So tell us a little bit about young Brooks Wheelan growing up in Iowa.
I lived in the woods outside of Manchester, Iowa, which is a tiny meth town, and 4,000 people. But that was the biggest city in our county, so it was like where everybody in the county went to school. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. You know, I don't know. I just like hung out in the woods a lot and played with my guinea pig. That's what I did.
Oh,
Cute.
what was the name of your guinea
that
pig?
was going to be my question.
Xena.
Xena.
Xena the
Sorry, what?
warrior piglet.
That makes a lot of sense.
Obviously.
Aw.
Yep.
I had a guinea pig as well.
Did you?
Yeah, I don't know what happened because I always wanted a bunny, but somehow I wound up with a guinea pig.
Yeah.
But he was very cute. They make a very cute sound. That
Oh yeah, like, you know, I would like scratch his neck and he would like extend it by being like, I got more neck over here.
Scratch this part.
Yeah, I loved it, man. I really loved my guinea pig. I checked out a guinea pig book so often from our school library that the lady was like, you can just have it.
Aw, that's so
Love that.
cute.
That's
Yeah, it
awesome.
was very cute. I love this guinea pig. It was great. I had two older brothers who were dicks. They're nice now.
That's nice.
And all I cared about was wrestling. That's all I cared about.
Okay, were you a wrestler in school or?
Yeah. My whole life was I just was trying to wrestle for the University of Iowa.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Are you still into wrestling? Are you still in that scene?
Yeah, my brothers. Well, I don't do it. It's not a sport you can casually do. I learned when I was after high school that Division I wrestling is not in the cards for Brooks.
Yeah.
Which is for the best. But my brother's team, they just won their third straight state championship last night in Iowa.
Wow. Congratulations.
So I watched that. And I forced it upon anybody who will watch it with me.
We randomly have a wrestler friend, Ryan Nemeth, who seems to be really back at it during this COVID sit. She took a little break, but he's been on it. Do you know him?
The Hollywood Hunk,
Yeah.
Me and his brother Nick are good friends.
cool.
Nick was really good Division I wrestling.
I did
not
know that.
How many divisions
Yeah,
are
he
there?
was-
I literally know zero things about wrestling.
Yeah, Nick was Nick is the all-time. Dolph Ziggler is his pro wrestling name. He's the all-time wins record for Kent State.
Interesting.
Wow.
Okay. Small world. I love it. Yes. If you haven't watched Timber the series, our web series, Ryan is in your episode, Kelly. He plays the gentle kisser.
The gentle kisser.
And he's very, very funny in the
hilarious.
episode.
Yeah.
So Brooks.
Yeah, he's great. I was just messaging him a few days ago, and then told because he someone who works at AEW likes entry level, and he's like, "Hey, she likes entry level." I was like, "Well, you should be on it." And he's like, "That works." I was like, "Great,
Awesome. I love that. He was my personal trainer for a little while. Like right before COVID, we were training together a little bit. So he's a dear,
That's fun."
Yeah, dear
He's
friend.
super cool.
So what kind of student were you?
I mean, it's weird to say this, but I was very smart. So school was not hard for me at all. So I was kind of a little asshole, but I would just try to piss my teachers off by taking a test as quick as possible and getting it perfect. I'd try to upset them by, taking a test in 5 minutes and not missing anything. Because
That's amazing.
they didn't pay attention. I mean, it was like nothing was hard until I got to college. That's the first time I ever needed to study.
Yeah.
Right.
When we write our guests, we ask them our least favorite subjects, our favorite subjects, and Brooks writes back right away. He's like, basically how I heard it was like, I'm literally a genius, so just ask me and I'll see if I remember anything. And I was just like,
No, I just was really good at science, and I like history.
and math. Didn't you say math too? We were like, math.
Yeah, I went to college for biomedical engineering and got a degree in cardiovascular biomechanics with a 3.89 GPA at the University of Iowa.
Wow.
Yeah, so I got a job out here, and I used it to move to LA and worked at Edwards Life Sciences, which is the top heart valve company in the world, until they fired me because they realized I didn't give a shit about it.
Well, we're going to have you do an operation on a heart today.
Yeah, so hope you remember.
have your
That's not what engineering is.
We're going to have you
I
build a robot heart today.
I will prep and watch surgeries and tell you how to use our devices.
Okay.
Got it.
I don't mean to say that in a braggy way. I'm just that's what I used education to leave Iowa, because I wouldn't have been able to leave.
Yeah.
If I did, there's no way I could have just moved to California.
No.
I had to find a job.
I
in California.
didn't see it in a braggy way. You have to understand, when people write us back, they're like, I liked theater and I liked
Yeah, we got
dance.
a lot of theaters.
And you were like, I like biomedical engineering. And I was like, Kelly, you could take that quiz because I can't do it.
Yeah. I taught Calculus 4 in college.
There shouldn't be that many
That's how I
calculi.
make money. But it's weird because I didn't go into English because I don't know where commas go, or the difference between a semicolon or a colon. So I was like, I shouldn't do English. Now my job is writing.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Isn't that funny how that works? I get paid to write. I know nothing about grammar. That's what the editor does. I'm like, you edit this. I can't do it. And it's just hilarious to me because I literally don't know how to write and they pay me to write. It's great.
Yeah, on the ACTs, the English part was devastating.
Yeah.
Oh, that was my best part.
Yeah. See, Kelly's really good at that. That is not my skill. I can make something sound real fun though, real fun, but I don't know how to write it.
Basically, it sounds great in your head.
Well, I think we should play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you ready, Kels?
I'm ready.
Are you ready, Brooks?
I also really want to stress I've forgotten everything.
Great. Then you're in
Perfect.
good company.
That's okay, because I have to say, I did not. I started researching biomedical engineering, and I was like, this is not going to happen.
It's really broad. It's hyper broad. I studied heart valves. My last 2 years in college were just on heart valves.
Wow. Unbelievable. Well, we did not write a heart valve quiz because I would
have crushed it.
I know,
Yeah,
but I knew Kelly wouldn't, and we wanted to make it fun.
Fuck you, I'm smarter.
My first game, we're going to go on over to, let's go to geography. You guys want to go to geography?
I love geography.
Ooh, I love geography.
Yay.
Great. It's loosely.
But heads up, I kind of can cheat a little too easy.
Shit.
Brooks has a huge
I have a
map.
giant map of the world in my dining room. So I won't look at it.
Okay,
I love it.
thank you.
Well,
Keep your
that won't
eyes
help
averted.
you, I promise.
Okay.
We're going to play a game called I want to know more about Iowa.
Well, of course, Brooks is going to have an advantage in this game, isn't he?
Maybe.
I don't know, man.
You never know.
Iowa has like 10,000 towns of 400 people. It's not. People are like, I'm from Iowa, I'm from this town. I'm like, I don't fucking know. I don't know, man.
Okay. That's how we are in Florida too. We're like, some places they're like this county. I'm like, I don't know where that is.
Right.
I've literally never heard of it.
I tried to make this a little more confusing for Brooks,
Great.
so he didn't have too much of an advantage.
Great. And I will also be even more confused.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Great. So let's start with Brooks. So Brooks, the state was named after the Iowa people, which was a Native American tribe that once inhabited the area. Now, some say the name Iowa was coined when the tribe of Native Americans spied over the land for the first time and proclaimed it Iowa, 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 which meant A, buffalo, 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 B, beautiful, 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 or C, rolling hills, rolling hills, rolling hills.
Well, it's definitely not beautiful. Rolling hills. I mean, I don't think buffalo were super prevalent in Iowa. Like, I mean, I'm sure they were, but I feel like they were further west. But there were buffalo by where I lived. I will go with rolling hills.
That is incorrect, Kelly. Do you want to try to steal?
Oh, wow. Well, let's see. Since Brooks just kind of explained why he didn't think the other two were right, wonder. Ooh, I don't know. Maybe they thought it was. I'm gonna say they thought it was beautiful.
That is correct.
Whoa.
So Brooks,
This is revisionist history. There's no way anybody saw Iowa and was like, goo 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 gee gee.
well, apparently someone thought it was beautiful once. So
They couldn't have been more incorrect.
now, have you
They
ever
hadn't
been?
seen a lot of other places, I think.
Right,
Yeah, maybe if you're coming from like
Hell.
Illinois.
right. Maybe. Have you ever been to Iowa, Kelly?
I don't think so.
Me neither. I don't even know where it is.
That's it. Would have been
Well,
a good
don't.
question.
It is. Don't
okay.
don't answer that. Okay, Kelly.
Well, he's gonna know.
Well, no, it's
Also, here I will say, when people tell me they've never been to Iowa, I say that's absolutely reasonable. There's no reason to go.
Right.
although I learned a lot about Iowa doing this quiz that we'll talk about, where I'm very impressed with the state compared to what I thought it
shouldn't
was
be.
going to.
You should not be at all. You should be impressed with the University of Iowa wrestling team.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Well, we'll see. Okay, Kelly.
Yeah.
So Iowa is home to the house in Grant Wood's American Gothic. He sketched the house when he passed through Eldon, Iowa in 1930, and he was struck by the contradiction of the modest Midwestern house with rather fancy windows. He painted the home back at his studio, then added the dour-looking man and woman, modeled after his sister and his blank. A, brother, B, dentist, C, fifth grade teacher.
I think it was his brother.
That is incorrect. Brooks, do you want to try to steal?
Oh shit. I mean, I'll go dentist.
It's dentist.
Wow. Wow.
Right?
He's like, you have, excuse me, like while he's like leaning over his face, doing
Yeah.
something with his teeth, like sticking
me
shit in
just-
his mouth. He's like, actually, this face, your face.
Yeah.
It's so
Dour.
picturesque.
It's just hilarious to me.
Wow.
Who knew? Yes.
Yeah. Sorry. I got an email about, just got an email offer to go do comedy in Iowa. And I'm spinning out in my head because like July seems far enough away
Right.
that I hope that comedy's back. And so I'm sorry. But I'm like, still like, I don't want to fucking fly. I don't want to get on a plane. I just
know.
want
Yeah.
it to be safe, but I feel like July.
I know.
I hope.
Maybe
It's
we
far enough
hope.
away that
Well,
it
that's
could
what we
be.
thought last March.
I know. Yes, that is what we thought last March.
That is what we thought. Well, let's think about it. Wait, let's take 1 second.
Okay.
We will probably have taken the vaccines by then.
I don't know if we will.
I think we might. By July?
Maybe.
Here's my only beef. It's going to be full capacity and there's not going to be mask mandates. And I'm like,
I don't know if I would.
Because I'm doing a show in 2 weekends that is 20% capacity masks, and I'm like, I feel okay with that. I drive to it.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm also not gonna post about it.
Right.
It's kind of a secret.
Right.
But like, I don't know. I'll think about it
because
it's a free trip to go see my family, which is
That's also true.
And when was the last time you were there in that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place?
Well, also here's the other part of I've not been there in the summer since I was 22. Iowa in the summer rocks.
Yeah.
Iowa in the winter is a goddamn nightmare.
Does it get really cold?
Yeah, like -30 to 50.
Oh my God.
Yeah, don't you know where it is in the country, Lindsay? You
that's
know it gets
terrible.
cold there.
It's the worst.
Well,
no one should live there. It's not for people.
Think on that. And here's another beautiful, beautiful question about Iowa. Brooks,
Beautiful.
Iowa is where Ozzy Osbourne's infamous bat incident happened.
Ooh.
On this fateful day, a 17-year-old fan named Mark Neal threw a bat on stage at a Black Sabbath concert in Des Moines. Thinking it was fake, Ozzy picked it up and he chomped down on that bat. And then he realized it was the real deal, went to the hospital for rabies. What year did the famous bat incident happen? Was it?
I have no idea. 82.
Oh my God, he is a genius.
82?
I'm giving you 2 points for just pulling that out of your ass.
Wow.
Without a fucking ABC. Yeah, it was January 20th, 1982.
That was right after I was born.
Barely snuck it in with the January. Could have been 81.
Yeah, could have been.
You know you're
been.
Iowa.
Wow, very impressive. All right,
I didn't know that was in Iowa.
I'm curious
You
to
knew
see.
it. You knew it intuitively.
This
Sure.
is a question for Kelly, but I have a feeling Brooks may know this one, so I'm just curious.
So you're just gonna.
I'm gonna ask you, Kelly, but I'm
Can you give
curious.
me the chance
Yes.
to get a point?
Okay, Kels. Maharishi Mahesh Yogi founded the Maharishi School of Management.
Yeah, I know where you're going with this.
In 1973. He purchased the campus of the bankrupt Parsons College in Fairfield, Iowa the following year. What was Maharishi Mahesh Yogi famous for founding? Do you know, Kels? I can give you ABC.
A, B, and C, please.
A, visualization meditation. B, mantra meditation. Or C, transcendental meditation.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's go with B.
That is incorrect. Brooks, do you want to try to steal?
It's C. Fairfield's a weird fucking town because of this.
Yes.
Because it's like a really small town. We would go to wrestling tournaments there a lot. It's in Eastern Iowa and I think Southeastern Iowa. And it's like half Iowa people who are, farmers, conservatives, as white as me.
Mm-hmm.
And then half people coming there to learn this transcendental meditation who do not fit in, but outnumber the residents. So it's like this weird hippie town. Like as a kid, I was like told like, yo, don't go to Fairfield. Like, fuck, Fairfield's weird. Now as an adult, I'm like, why wasn't I at Fairfield? That sounds like the town to be in.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I wonder why he went there. Like why he.
It's probably cheap as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Fairfield sucks. I mean, like it's just like everything there's so cheap. You can get whatever you want there.
Right.
If you can trick people into flying to Iowa, you're doing something right.
Yeah. Who knew that they had this whole tie to transcendental meditation?
Wow.
I know. It's so crazy. Okay, let's see. I'm curious if you've come across these bones, Brooks.
Whoa.
So these bones are abundant in Iowa. The prehistoric creature once lived in the area, so it's not unusual for residents to find these bones. They're especially prevalent in the Mahaska County, where people seem to stumble on them all the time by accident. Is it A, woolly mammoth bones, B, saber-toothed cat bones, or C, megalodon bones?
I mean, I don't even know where that county is. It sounds probably Western Iowa, which don't go near. Sell pig farms. But I'll go with megalodon bone.
That is incorrect. Kelly, do you want to try to steal?
What were the other two?
Woolly mammoth and saber-toothed cat bones.
It's fucking woolly mammoth, bro.
That is
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, I don't think they had those saber-toothed cats, right?
I don't know. I just made that up.
Yeah, okay.
Made that
sounds
up.
like it didn't exist.
What is a megalodon? Why did I pick that one? What is that one?
Sounds like a transformer.
I feel like that's a big let's look it up. Let's see. I've seen them before and
Yeah, I knew. I really
You really
goofed up
blew
on
it.
that one.
You
It's
really blew it, bro.
definitely woolly
they're
mammoth.
sharks. They're prehistoric
Oh, then
sharks.
definitely
shark
not.
in Iowa, shark bones. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed.
We're idiots.
You know what's real? You know what's what really happened one time? They shot the movie Twister in Iowa.
Oh, I love
And
that movie.
You know how in Twister they cut up all those little cans and the balls and they throw them in the Twister?
Yes.
It was like maybe an hour from where I lived, and my mom, she must have had no idea what to do anymore, like for fun, and she just like piled like me and like two of my friends in a car, and we went to where we thought they might have shot it and looked for it to see if they left any of the balls.
That's cute.
That's really sweet.
And all you found were those woolly mammoth bones.
Yeah.
We've actually found megalodon bones.
Oh, wow.
But in a place where no water once was.
But
it was crazy.
But in prehistoric
Water
times,
was once
probably.
there. Everything's once water.
Yeah. Thanks for making me feel dumb,
Yeah.
Brooks.
Have you ever heard of Pangea?
Got it.
God.
Got it. I remember now. Okay.
That-
All right.
That really relates. But
I think it's Kelly's question. Yes. Kelly, Iowa and Missouri used to have a lot of beef. Okay.
I
And
think they still do. Aren't there like farms with like cows?
Well, here's the joke. Since my family's from Missouri, all my family's from Missouri, the running joke is if you gave the bottom row of counties in Iowa to Missouri, it would increase the IQ of both states.
Oh.
It's a fun joke.
Yeah. So
Cute.
that's okay. So they had beef because of all the county lines. So they almost went to war in the 1830s. So there were all these surveying mistakes. This guy would come and say, no, this is the line between the states. And then Iowa would be like, fuck no, this is the line. And they were fighting back and forth between where the line was. And
I actually have beef. Well, hold on, let me look this up.
Yeah, look it
I
up.
thought that I always thought the Missouri River was the dividing line, but that can't be true because Iowa's flat at the bottom.
Check it.
I mean, it's not. It's absolutely not because the Missouri River flows down to St. Louis. I'm totally wrong.
Okay. So
Don't give him a point.
no, I'm not.
Don't give him a point. He's looking at his
I'm
map.
not. This
Okay.
wasn't the.
I did.
So, basically, when a Missouri tax collector tried to cash in from citizens who lived in the disputed acres, an Iowan sheriff arrested him. Then the governors of each state threatened each other with combat, with militias and volunteers, and they started to gather at the borders. But before any shots were fired, because they were going to war, the federal government stepped in and literally drew the line for them. Now, this conflict is often referred to as the Honey War. This is my question. Why was it called the Honey War?
Bees.
Do you want A, B, and C?
Yes.
Okay. A,
It's BBs.
BBs. A, because honeybees were the only casualty of this war. B, because no one was hurt, so the war was considered sweet as honey. Or C, because honey was the last name of the man who officially ended the conflict once and for all.
C.
Incorrect.
Damn.
Brooks, do you want to try to steal?
I mean, I think that B sounds almost too nice. I will go the A.
Yes, that is correct. It was the bees.
Aw, they
it
killed
was the bees. No, in the whole drama of it all, there were all these giant trees that were destroyed, and there were like
Oh, okay.
honeybee nests and stuff in
Okay,
the trees.
okay.
So they were the only casualties of the war.
Okay. Fair.
All right, this question is for both of you. I'm going to start with Kelly. Kelly, can you name any other states
Missouri.
that border Iowa?
Definitely Missouri.
Mhm.
Maybe like, shoot. Is there like a Kansas in there?
No.
No. There's definitely an Ohio.
No.
No. Okay. Well, let's talk about Wisconsin. No.
Yes. I'll give you a point for that. Okay. Now, Brooks, can you name what two states border Florida, where the two of us are from?
Georgia and Alabama.
Yes. Great job.
Was that Do you think that was fair?
I
Do you
said
think that was
bordering,
equal,
bordering states
Yeah.
for you
Okay.
in his hometown,
Okay.
bordering states for him and yours. Shut the fuck.
But I've driven to Florida. You've never driven to Iowa.
I think Florida is a.
Whose fault is that? It's ours.
It is.
No,
It's also
Iowa's.
his fault for going to Florida.
Yeah.
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 No, I want to
Iowa-
go to Iowa now.
In the town I grew up in, there was two bridges. One went to Illinois, and the other was to Wisconsin. It was a tri-state area.
Illinois was going to be my next guess, but I couldn't remember the name of it.
Oh wow. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I knew its shape.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, last question for Kelly, because I think we did Kelly, then we did Brooks, and then yes. All right. Here's where I'm going to prove Brooks wrong about how cool Iowa is. Are you guys ready?
I'm in.
Because like,
You can't. It's
Just-
like
listen to me.
You have to see it with
Honestly-
fresh eyes. We
All right.
should go.
This is what
no. You need to spend 22 years there. That's the only way to really get to the core.
that
of
I
something.
don't
I
want to
disagree.
do. I've
Understandable.
Okay, so when it comes to civil rights, Iowa has always been ahead of the curve. Okay, married women received property rights in 1851, and in 1869, the Iowa Supreme Court ruled that women should be able to practice law. That made you had the first female lawyer in the U.S. It was also way ahead on school desegregation. The Iowa Supreme Court ruled that separate but equal schools were unlawful back in 1868. This was how many years before Brown versus Brown of Education decided the same thing on a federal level? A, 25 years before, B, 55 years before, C, 85 years before.
55.
No, it's 85.
I
That's
can't do
cool,
math.
right? I mean, that's cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not cool.
No,
it's
but
good
that's
for Iowa.
it's good for Iowa that they were like 85
Oh, that's
years
what I
ahead
meant.
of the game.
I'm
Really?
really bad at math. Yeah, it's fine. No. It's fine.
I mean, I think that's really impressive.
Yeah, no, I mean, but for everything that we were pro-North and progressive, we also destroyed Native Americans.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not saying you guys are innocent.
But I'm
None
saying,
of
like,
us.
Iowa was cool when it comes to like
Gay marriage was another one.
Right? Yeah, gay marriage is second. I was in college when they legalized gay marriage, which is insane.
They were the
that I was in
third
college.
state to do that, behind
thought they were the
Massachusetts and
second one.
Connecticut.
Oh, we were always told second. Maybe us in Connecticut did at the same time.
Ooh, maybe, yeah.
Might have been the same year.
But 2009 they did that. Right. So like, yes, there's a lot of trash in the history as well. But I mean, those are three big things that they were progressive so early on in the game. So that's cool.
I mean, like, that's like one of the best parts of growing up in Iowa is like, you can watch 12 Years a Slave and be like, I would have been Brad Pitt in that movie. Like,
Right.
yeah, I was like, we were like, no, thank you to that.
Yeah. Wow. You could have been.
But I'm sure they would have done it had we been in this. I don't know. All I'm saying is that it's like kind of an under the radar state where nobody could really be mad at it. You know,
Right.
It never really fucked anything up.
Right.
Because it doesn't have enough electoral votes to ruin an election like a Florida.
A Florida,
Right.
like a Florida,
It's
like a Florida.
Iowa.
Nobody's
better
ever
than
like
Florida.
Yeah, nobody's ever like, God damn, like we got Trump because of Iowa.
Right.
It's like, yeah, you don't got nothing because of Iowa.
Right. Well, we're glad you're out of there. That was, what did I call this game? That was, I want to know more about Iowa.
I learned
Yeah,
so much.
I mean, I have friends who live there. I like my friends who live there, so I don't disparage it. It's like right now it's like -20. Man.
And your
It's so
family
cool.
is still there. They never wanted to leave. They just wanted to stay in Iowa.
They moved there. It's insane.
Unbelievable.
Where'd they move there from?
Missouri. They were like,
right.
this is too exciting. We got to
Oh my
we
god!
got to
But
slow down.
didn't they go the wrong way? Isn't the move like Iowa to Missouri?
Right.
To
Isn't Nick
New
Vaterath
York.
from Missouri? Nick Vaterath's from
Yeah,
Missouri.
veterans from St. Louis.
Yeah. See, I've been to St.
Yeah.
Louis.
so
and-
Iowa's better than Missouri. Is that what you're saying?
No,
You're saying they
Missouri
did the
has
wrong.
multiple sports teams.
Right. Right.
But at the same time, Missouri is trash. You know, I don't know what to like. It's the whole. I don't know, man. It's
I went to St.
everywhere
Louis.
is stupid.
I went to St. Louis, and I tell you
The
what,
rivalry rages still.
it was one of the most memorable experiences of my life because I
Why?
was
What
like,
happened?
why am I in St. Louis the whole time?
Why were you in St. Louis?
Because I had a friend that worked for the Muni Theater, and he was like, I'm going to get you a job at the Muni. Come to the auditions. And so, like, a couple of us went to the Muni for these auditions, and, like, literally none of us got a call back. I was the only person that wasn't blonde for West Side Story, and I didn't even get a call back, okay? Everyone else was, like, whiter than white. And then we went to, like, a drag show, and it was, like... It was rough. It was rough around the edges. It was the whole thing
Yeah,
was
St. Louis is pretty gnarly. I remember I got mad at my parents and unreasonably mad at my parents when I was 16. I wanted to borrow their car to drive to East St. Louis to see Power Man 5000, and they said no. And I was like, "You never let me do nothing."
Wait, I just
So,
remembered one more thing about St. Louis. My friends, when we got there, they took me to a club. And they didn't tell me that when you got there, it was like you had to take your clothes off and check them at the like bag check kind of thing.
Oh my God.
So instead of a coat check, you like checked your clothes in and you could wear your underwear. And like no one told me. So when I got there, I was like, all right, I guess this is what we're fucking doing. So like everyone took their clothes off and checked their clothes into the bag check. And I was like, this is insane. In St. Louis.
Wow, St.
That's
Louis.
The most insane part of that is the Midwest is not filled with beautiful people.
No.
It's not a place where you want to see everyone with their shirt
No,
off.
it was not. It wasn't a sexy party.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's not going
Right.
to be. It's not the Jimmy Eat World, the middle,
Right.
like music video.
No, it's not. And the drag show, same. It was a little tough. All right. Well, let's get off of this shithole state,
Let's
as Trump
get-
would
Hey,
say.
only I can say that.
Yeah.
I'm from Florida. I
think
can
it's
say whatever I
beautiful,
want.
beautiful, beautiful.
Have you guys seen? I just saw this really incredible documentary called Some Kind of Heaven about the villages in Florida. It's brand new. It's really good.
No,
The
I've-
Villages.
Yeah. Do you know this? It's like this retirement community of 100,000 people right in the middle of the state.
That's what I was gonna say. It sounds
It's-
like a retirement
yeah,
community.
yeah, like a
Uh-huh.
yeah.
It's the biggest retirement community in the United States. I'm not going to say world because I don't know, but it's really well done. It's really cool.
All right, cool. I'd love to watch that.
Ooh, and what happens there? Bad things, or is it a nice
Sure.
documentary?
I mean, like the idea is like, come to the villages. It's adult Disney. It's a Disneyland for retired people.
It
and then
sounds
they
like
go
a
and
horror movie.
Yeah. They
Is
go.
that just
and
my
it's-
brain?
Yeah, it's just really good. It's interesting. It's shot well. It's fun. I highly recommend it.
All right,
Cool.
cool. We'll get into it for sure.
I like weird Florida content.
Yeah.
All right, class, we are going to go to biology class today because I
yeah.
thought, let's do something sciencey, something, animal related, but definitely not biomedical engineering because that's way over my head. So we're
I
going
used to
play
have
a
to
game.
euthanize rabbits as my old job.
That
it was
is
the nightmare.
That is Lindsay's full nightmare.
That's my full
Yeah.
nightmare.
It was.
Yeah,
I
Lindsay
remember I
wanted to be
stepped
a
out-
bunny when she was
I
younger.
stepped outside. It was like right when things were going really well in comedy. I got SNL maybe like later that month, but I
Wow,
like
big
stepped
shift.
out. Yeah, I like stepped out and called my agent and I was like, "You gotta get me out of this fucking job." Like, yeah, it was just-
We're killing bunnies. I
That's
can't
so
take
yeah.
it.
I've watched 30 bunnies die today. Like, yeah, it was terrible.
That
That
is
is so sad.
my worst nightmare.
I had
It
to
sucked.
do community service for a shoplifting charge when I was in high school, and I did it. I chose the place to do the community service. I chose the county animal regulation shelter and like whatever.
Oh my God.
Which I don't. That was the stupidest.
You just thought, I'll be with
I
animals all
thought I'll be
day.
with animals. No, I walked into one of my first days. I like walked into the cat room. There was like a dog room and a cat room. I walked into the cat room. They're all dead. Every cage filled top to bottom. They're all dead. I'm like, oh
Oh
my God. They literally just euthanized all of these cats.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna go die now.
Yeah, I'll never forget that. It was really horrible. Woof is right.
Woof.
Is
Meow.
right. And then I consoled myself by I got to play with dogs later. I'm like, oh God, just crying. And I wanted to take all of them home. It was really sad. And the woman working there, she was really mean. I'm like, does she like euthanizing these guys? I think you have to be really hard. You have to you get hardened.
That job's gonna harden you.
For sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
Ooh-wee.
She was basically like, you can't
Turner
handle it, can you? I'm like, no, I really can't.
Turner Nick Turner has my favorite joke about how when he got his dog Cheetah, he's like, we went to the place that didn't need to inspect my house before they let me keep their dog, because it's like, what is my house better than you shooting it in the head? Like,
right.
shut up. Give me a dog.
Give me a dog.
Exactly.
Give me a dog.
Woo. So anyway, let's move away from animal euthanasia to a game for biology class that I am calling. I have a few names for it. It's called Oh My Mollusk, or Mollusks and More, or maybe it's called Mostly Mollusks, or Thoroughly Modern Mollusks.
Oh, I like all of those.
Yeah. All right. So let's just start with a basic sort of biology question for Brooks. As our resident biologist, you should be able to tell me the different classifications of animals, right? I'll give you a point for every 2 classifications identified.
I mostly know anatomy, so I don't know biology as well.
Well, you're going to have to try.
I never took biology. I took human anatomy.
Great. So you and Lindsey are probably equal here. So that's fine. So I'll give you a hint. There are actually 12 full classifications, but they're often simplified into 5 or 6 classifications for kids. So basically just what are the different types broadly of animals?
Invertebrates, stuff like that.
Yeah. So there's vertebrates and invertebrates, and then below that are all the different classifications. So tell
phylums,
me
or what are they called? Phylums?
Not even that. No, not even that. Just what's a kind of?
So it's are we talking about the difference between mammals and marsupials, or not even that far?
No,
or
whoa, we're getting to that later.
Like
actually,
canines?
Not even that specific. Not even that specific.
Give us the one.
So mammals, yes. So give you a point for mammals.
Okay, so mammals, amphibians.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about exactly. So a point. I'm giving you a point for every 2. So 1 point for mammals and amphibians.
Got it.
What else can we think of?
Then we have bacteria or whatever, microorganisms. I don't know.
I'll give you a point for that. We're gonna call that protozoa. Sure, we'll call that protozoa.
Oh yeah, you're right. Shit. No, don't give me a point for not knowing protozoa. Fish.
I wouldn't have known it.
What are fish?
Fish. Great. Fish are fish.
Okay.
Fish are just fish.
So
fish are cold-blooded vertebrates.
Oh, cold-blooded vertebrates is the other one?
No.
I don't know. Okay, I don't.
No, you got it. So you got mammals, fish, amphibians. What else? What other?
Protozoa.
Protozoa. Okay, good.
And I don't know.
What's the other thing that's like an amphibian, but it spends all its time in the water?
Fish. I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay. Lindsey, do you have any guesses? So I think we got 2 points, right? He got 2 points for those?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I'll give him 2 points.
You got 2.
You're our guest.
A marine mammal?
Well,
is that what a dolphin is?
No, this is super broad. So mammal is one category.
Okay.
We have mammals, amphibians, and fish, and protozoa have been said.
Okay. I'm going to go with I don't know.
Birds.
Oh, birds are a thing.
Reptiles. Insects.
Great.
Arachnids. Mollusks was the name of the game.
Should have known mollusks.
And then crustaceans. And then these I've never heard of. Annelids, echinoderms, and that's it.
Great.
Okay.
What's the thing that you said was in the ocean a lot?
Well, I just said like I was trying to get to reptiles.
Got it.
Because I always think of reptiles and amphibians as sort of similar.
Me too.
But then
Yeah.
one is like water and land.
Okay.
Maybe actually reptiles are land. I was wrong anyway.
Okay.
So I was not helpful. All right, great. So Brooks has 2 points.
I have
Lindsey has
nothing.
0.
Zero.
Lindsey,
Yes.
let's talk bivalves, okay?
Yes.
Let's talk about bivalves.
Yes.
The bivalve family of mollusks consists primarily of clams, oysters, mussels, scallops, and other ocean creatures that have a hinged shell.
Uh-huh.
Lindsey, how do bivalves move from one place to another?
They have a foot.
Yes.
They have a foot that comes out of the shell, and he slithers around, and then he goes back in.
Whoa, I didn't know. That's cool.
Wow. Yes, they use a quote-unquote foot for locomotion, a protuberance of flesh that is used to push against the ocean floor.
It's actually really cool, Brooks. You should look it up because
Oh,
this
have
whole thing comes out of the shell and like moves it.
Does it
It's-
come from inside the shell? Or
Yeah.
does it on the outside? And
No,
like,
I think
extends?
it's inside, and it's like a little tongue, and it pulls it.
Oh,
Cool.
I think. Yeah.
oh, cool. Great. Boop, 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 boop. All right, Brooks. Snails and slugs make up the majority of the gastropod family. As many of 80% of all mollusk species are gastropods. Gastropods are known for their strange body shapes caused by torsion, which occurs in the early stages of development. During torsion, the majority of the gastropod's body mass is twisted, which results in the anus being positioned where?
Oh.
Where does that anus end up?
On its back. I don't know.
Oh, so close. Lindsey, do you have a guess?
On its top of its head.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, their anus ends up above their head.
They're just
Nice.
giant assholes.
yeah, giant assholes.
Wow.
Good. Lindsey, there's 3 major types of mollusks. So we've talked about the gastropod.
I'm really into
Okay.
mollusks, obviously.
Mhm.
Yes.
We've talked about the bivalve.
Uh-huh.
What is the third kind? And I'll give you a hint as to what type of animal is this type.
Okay.
Squid,
Ah.
nautilus, and octopi.
Oh.
What is it called?
These are called
Brooks is going to have a chance to steal in 3.
it's like a something a pod.
Yes,
It's like a cephalopod or
yes,
something.
it's a
Is that what it's
cephalopod.
called?
Oh my God.
Hey.
Wow.
Ooh.
I'm super proud of you, Lindsey.
I'm really into sea life, you guys.
Yeah, you are.
That's awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
For extra credit for either of you, can you name anything that makes them really cool?
Oh, they can shapeshift and they can turn colors and they
Some
can
yeah. Uh-huh.
spray us with ink.
Yeah.
And
Good.
they suction. Some of them have suction cups.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll
I
give you a
saw
point.
my
Good job.
octopus teacher.
Wow.
Did you guys
I
see
know.
that?
I turned it on and I was like, I can't do this.
It's
I wanted to watch it,
weird.
but I didn't want to be persuaded morally to not eat octopus because I find them to be quite delicious. But the more I hear about them being really smart, the less I want to eat them.
Yeah, they have emotions.
They're like, oh, see, don't tell me they have emotions.
You know what, Brooks? I'm on the same page as you. Everyone was like, this movie. And I watched it and I was like, this guy weirds me out. This is weird. Their relationship's
Does he have sex
weird.
with them?
No, he doesn't have
Yes.
sex with her, but there's a weird
Okay.
sexual like undertone to all of it.
Yeah,
There
somebody was
always
like,
is when
tweeted-
someone is like embedded with animals. There's always a
Yeah,
weird
some-
sexual undertone.
Yeah.
Someone tweeted, that guy fucked that octopus.
Yeah.
for
It was
sure.
weird. It was weird. And like, yes, but in the end, I could see the beauty in it. But it was definitely like I could have done with less of the guy and more of the octopus.
Maybe the octopus loved him too.
I think she
Like-
did have a relationship.
Oh, it was a
with him.
female.
Yes. Yes. And she was beautiful.
Did you know that cephalopods typically have 3 hearts?
No.
I didn't either.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, they have the largest brain of any invertebrate, and it's been shown that they're capable of learning and I guess emotion. Thanks a lot for telling me that. I can never eat octopus.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. That was your turn, right, Linz? Okay, Brooks. Enough about mollusks. Let's talk about arachnids and insects. True or bullshit? Arachnids are as distant from insects as birds are from fish when it comes to like evolution and biology.
I'll go with true. It sounds like something that would be true.
That is
Like it's
true.
such a weird question that I would just be like, who would make up
You're
this
right. You're right. Whoever wrote the article that I read on whatever website I found it on.
I mean, it's just like a deduction. I'm like, it seems like a swing.
Right.
Yeah.
It seems too specific to not be true. Can you name some animals in the arachnid family, Brooks?
Spider. Then that one. Done.
Good. Spiders.
Jeff Daniels.
Probably.
Yeah.
He's an arachnophobia.
Right. Spiders, scorpions, mites, and ticks.
Oh shit! Shout out to
Did you know
ticks.
that? I didn't know that.
Shout out to
ticks.
You know, my dog got a tick when we were living in New York City.
New York City.
Isn't that a weird place to get a tick?
It is a weird place to
It's
get
crazy, right?
Was it in the city?
Yes.
In the city?
In the city. I know. Still blows my mind.
I mean, that's crazy. I've always heard New York City is the cleanest place in the world.
That's true.
And tick free.
Yeah. I wonder if what category bed bugs are in.
Don't even speak.
You're right. I
that.
shouldn't even say it. I know. Knock on wood.
Forget it.
For an extra point, Brooks, how many times have I had bed bugs?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm gonna guess 2.
That is incorrect.
3?
Actually 3. Yeah.
From New York to LA.
Yep.
Unrelated.
Yep.
Wait, you got him in LA?
I got them in LA twice.
Oh shit!
I know.
I thought
Hollywood,
that was
baby.
a New York thing.
It's here, baby.
That's
in
why
Hollywood.
I moved. It's why I moved out of New York, came here, got them the next year.
Yep.
Maybe you are the bed bug.
Maybe it's me. Yeah, maybe I am the
Giant bed bug.
I think at night my body just disintegrates into thousands of bed bugs and
Yeah.
they reform back together.
Yeah, you're like the person
morning.
who's like, I just keep getting in car wrecks. These people don't know how to drive. I'm like, maybe
Right.
you are the driver.
Yes.
Brooks, one more chance for extra credit here for you. Do you know one of the differences between arachnids and insects?
Legs, 8 legs.
Yep. Ding, 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 ding,
Ding, ding.
Anything else? There's other.
They
few
probably
other.
have different, like, I know that insects have like 3 body parts,
That is
like,
correct. And
whatever
how
it
many do spiders have or arachnids generally?
just by looking at one, I'm going to say 1. It's got a little body.
It's
No,
actually
I
it's 2.
know I'm wrong.
It's
There's
2.
a body and a head.
yeah. It's
A bunch
2.
of legs.
A lot of legs. You got the legs part right, so you definitely get a point for that. Yeah.
What's
so
the difference between a spider and a tarantula?
I think a tarantula is a type of spider.
Just a big spider?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, fuzzy.
Fuzzy.
Yeah, so sweet. Yeah, spiders have 2 body parts, 8 eyes, no antenna, no wings. That's a thing. 4 pairs of segmented legs, and an unsegmented abdomen.
Interesting.
While insects have 3 body parts, 2 eyes, 2 antenna, 4, 2 or 0 wings, 3 pairs of legs, and a segmented abdomen. Stunning.
Get it?
Yep.
Get it.
All right. So last question. Wait, whose turn is this now? I believe it's yours, Lindsay.
Yeah.
A marsupial is a mammal that raises its newborn offspring inside an external pouch at the front or underside of their bodies. They give birth to relatively underdeveloped young that often reside in the pouch for a certain amount of time. So they basically finish their development in the pouch. So they're
Right.
born sort of premature. They finish their development in the pouch.
Yeah.
So in contrast to this type of mammal, which is called a marsupial? Wait. Yeah, I think it's just called, that's the marsupial is the type. Yeah.
Okay.
So then in contrast to that, what's the type that we are, or the more average type of mammal that has like a regular birth and they're totally formed? They don't have to like grow more inside of our pouch.
We are called a Neanderthal.
No, I wouldn't have known this. Do you have a guess, Brooks?
I have no idea.
It's called a placental mammal.
Ooh.
We're placental mammals. Isn't that cool? Did you know there's a third type of mammal that frickin' lays eggs, bro?
What?
There's a third type of mammal.
That's isn't that
Like a platypus or something.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Egg-laying monotremes.
Wow.
Who knew?
When I went to Australia, one of my clients was like, whatever you do, don't put your hand in the pouch. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, it's like a vagina in there because it's like a wet,
Suction.
moist.
It has suction.
It's like
who's putting their hands in pouches?
I don't know. But he was like, don't put your hand in the pouch because
Wouldn't
it's
do
like
it.
wet and moist. Like it's like the outer vagina, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, don't. Who's going in? Sounds like one of your clients put their hand in a pouch.
It sounds like this guy did it.
I
and
think
he's
he
speaking
did.
from experience.
He's 70, so maybe back in the day that used to be okay to put your hands in the pooch of a kangaroo.
Not without consent.
Right, but we don't know.
All
we
right.
don't know.
I don't like any of this.
I don't like any of it either, but I do like that it's recess time. So, Brooks, I kind of want to talk about the marathon stuff during recess. Is that cool with you?
Yeah, sure.
So on our buddies podcast, Get Rich Nick, that we've talked about a couple times on the show, you ran a marathon. Basically, Nick bet you that you couldn't run a marathon, drank with you all night. You ran the marathon, you won the money.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yeah. So you ran it alone during this was during COVID, right?
This is peak COVID. This is last March when we didn't know what could happen or whatever. And yeah, I had to run it under the average without training. And it wasn't that hard, but I did hurt my knee.
Had you ever run a marathon before?
No, the furthest I'd ever run continuously was 10 miles once.
Unbelievable, because I've run a few half marathons, and at the end of every one of them, I've thought to myself, I'd love to do a marathon, but like to do another one of what I just did sounds like a fucking nightmare.
No, I'll be honest, I like since I ran that, now I will go run just like a half marathon. It's like kind of like how it's like a cheat code on how to look good if you're how to lose like weight real quick if you have to shoot. So you just go bang out a half marathon the day before, and it works great. But because I ran another marathon after this that was sponsored by ASICS to see if I could like cut an hour off my time, and I couldn't. And
an hour is a lot of time to cut off.
Yeah, it was over estimation of my abilities. And I'm saying I'll never run another marathon, but half marathons are enjoyable. Marathons are not.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like fun.
I mean, I lost a couple of toenails during the half marathons that I ran over time, over training and stuff. But I remember like the first few that I did, we were going out, smoking cigarettes, drinking whiskey. And I was like running the next day, like sweating that shit out and being like, I can do anything. I don't know if I could do that. Like
I don't want you to do that.
No, but I listened to the episode where he ran the first one on Nick and Nick.
Was it literally the day after drinking all night?
Yeah. Didn't you guys like stay up like super late? And Nick was like, we're going to sleep in. And he's not. And then he got up like first and was like, I'm ready to go.
Whoa.
Yeah, we went to bed at like 2 or 3.
Unreal. Unbelievable.
But it wasn't. Yeah, I mean, 4.5 hours isn't too hard for a person who's like, I do jog. You know, it's not like I never run. I just never run that far.
Right.
The last half that I ran, I realized the route is so important because I ran it with a neighbor. She picked the course. And when I didn't look at it because I was like, she's run before. She knows what she's doing. And the course was like 3 miles out, 3 miles back, 3 miles out, 3. It was the same 3 miles back and forth. And it was so tedious and so boring. It's like if you pick a good spot, it's cool and interesting and like it keeps you going. But you just did your last one at the Rose Bowl, right?
Yeah, it's 3 mile loop. So I just did 9 loops. But the first one I ran around Los Feliz, not thinking about how hilly it was because it just took off out of my front door and then came back. And the elevation gain that I had on my app was 6,000 feet. And I was like, how much is like a normal elevation gain in a marathon? It's like 400 feet. I was like, oh, I fucked up big time.
Yeah. The biggest hills you'll do is like over a bridge or like something like that. You'll never do a lot of
I was
hills.
like in the Los Feliz Hills, like an idiot.
Well, you could think of it as conditioning. I don't know.
Yeah, but I was trying to beat a time.
Yeah, so never mind. Yeah.
How much did you make off of Nick for that?
$500.
Ah,
Sweet.
I love it.
But
That's amazing.
I spent more than $500 in physical therapy to repair my knee afterwards.
Got it.
So it turns out
Totally worth it.
marathons are difficult and you should train for them.
Yes, that is a good.
Not to be taken lightly.
That is a good tip.
Yeah.
All right, should we get back to it?
Let's go to class.
All right. Let's go to, what are we calling this? Anatomy. Let's call this anatomy.
Great.
That's great.
So this is good for you, Brooks. All right. So like we said before, I read on Wikipedia that you moved to LA and you had a job as a biomedical engineer doing research on eyes and heart valves. Now you said mostly heart valves.
2 years and 2 years. I studied heart valves in college, and that's how I got my job out here. And they like moved me out, and it was like really great job. And then I got fired and picked up a job working on interocular lenses at Caltech.
Got it. Okay, so we're going to play a game all about hearts and eyes, and it's called I Heart You.
Oh.
All right. Let's start with Kelly. I'm going to make Brooks do a little math on the second question. So let's start with Kelly.
Thank you for
You're
sparing
welcome.
me.
Kelly, true or bullshit? Your eyes are about 1 inch across and they weigh about 0.25 ounces. And like our nose and ears, our eyes never stop growing. True or bullshit?
Bullshit.
That is correct.
Our eyes
Wouldn't that be crazy?
No, if our eyes kept growing throughout our life, they just got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Like a
And
bulbous nose, but for your
Yeah.
eyes.
No, that sounds horrifying.
Yeah, they don't. They stay the same size.
Yeah, thanks. Okay.
All right, Brooks, do you have a little piece of paper over there? Or you could
do.
use your phone or whatever. The human eye blinks an average of 4,200,000 times a year. So 4,200,000 times a year. This means if you were given a nickel every time you blinked, how much money would you make annually?
This is a nightmare. All right, hold on.
This is horrible.
If you got a nickel every time you blinked, how much
Let him
money?
use a calculator.
Yeah, he can use a calculator, whatever he wants.
5 times 4 is 20, 30. Okay, so you would have 30 million cents, which is what?
How many dollars?
30
I mean, just
million.
divide that by 100. So $300,000.
That is incorrect. Kelly, do you want to try to steal?
Sure.
So it's 4,200,000 times a year. So if you had a nickel for every time you blinked, how much money would you make annually?
I'm just gonna say $800,000.
That is incorrect.
Okay.
It's 210, but thanks for playing.
Sure.
All right.
Here, how did I do this multiplication wrong?
Explain it,
Five-
Linz.
Yeah, you times 4,200,000 times 0.05, and it'll just bring up 210,000.
But 5 times 4. No, I did my math wrong. 5 times 4 is 20.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's 21. Oh, fuck. I added. It's 21, not 30.
No,
so yeah,
you added.
God damn it. So
Damn it.
I did my math wrong.
Look, his math is. Look, he crossed it out and put the right answer.
So I did 4 times 4 times 5. I did 20 instead of adding the 1, making it 21. I added 1 to the 2, giving it 3.
I see what you did there. I see what they don't do math like that anymore. They do new math where they don't do the pluggy thing. The kids these days have these boxes, and it's very confusing.
Ooh.
Do you know about new math?
We've talked about it a little bit, but I don't know it intimately.
We would know if we had kids. I've seen it. I've
Well,
seen
thank
it.
God, we don't have to learn any new math.
All
The
right.
old math was enough.
Kels. We all know that the world's most common eye color is brown. We know that.
Yeah, of course.
True or bullshit? Brown eyes are blue eyes underneath.
No, what?
It's actually true.
Really?
Yes, it is true. Brooks, did you know that?
I don't know that. I will say one time I stepped on a cadaver eye hungover and I felt bad about it. Because we would have human eyes donated.
Uh-huh.
And I was walking hungover and I dropped the eye and then I stepped on it. I was just like, I squished a human eye. So whoever
Wow.
donated that eye to science after they died, sorry.
Well, maybe the other one. Maybe the other one was good. Maybe
Maybe someone who needed just one eye got the other eye. Listen,
no, we would
Brooks,
dissect them and test. We were working on intraocular lenses. So we would like take your lens out, put in a new IOL, and then expand and contract and shoot lasers through them and shit.
could have happened to anyone.
I have a question because I'm an organ donor. What are your thoughts after all the rabbits you've killed and the eyes you've stepped on? What do you think about being an organ donor?
I will be totally honest. I also am an organ donor, but after witnessing how I treat it and how everyone around me treats the eye, because we hope as an organ donor, you get in a car wreck, your heart is donated to a kid with cancer, and they have your heart now. That's not what happens. They get sent to hungover idiots who run labs at Caltech, and we just fucking, I'd say like 1 out of 10 eyes worked for our testing. It's just, I mean, hey, I'm still an organ donor because I don't really care, but it is not what you think.
Right.
Your organs do not go to rarely are they used. Rarely will you get, at least in my, my experience, rarely would we get actual data. It was just a lot of like, oh, this is fucked.
Cool.
I think I'm going to stick with that.
I'm going to do it anyway. You can juggle my eyes.
You can juggle my eyes.
Yeah, pleasure.
I think my spirit will go somewhere else, and my eyes they're not, whatever.
Yeah,
who cares?
The craziest thing that ever happened at that job was we were getting a human head, a cadaver head, like it's like the full head. So because we were going to run a practiced surgery, like before we went to human trials, you try to, mimic as much of the real surgery as you can. And my job as running this lab was to prep the head, get it all set up and all this shit. And I opened up our box and it was car parts. It was legit car parts. And I was like, oh my God. And I'm like running down the hall to be like, get to my boss to be like, the head is not here. Those are car parts. Fucking, we got to get a hold of FedEx because FedEx is who like you use.
Whoa.
So we call FedEx. The head was headed to North Carolina. They like fucked it up. So it was going to some auto body shop.
Oh,
I would love to see the car after that.
Yeah.
I want to see what happened to the car.
I
Right?
would
They're
love.
like, well, I guess we use what we got and we just plug this in here and connect it to the gasket. And
I mean, could you imagine opening that box and thinking it was going to be car parts? And
I can. And it's a fucking amazing thing to imagine.
Wow.
Anticlimactic. They intercepted it. They never opened it, but still.
Oh, wow.
That is a great story.
That is
Could
a
you
great story.
Oh my God. To be a fly on the wall of them actually opening the
That is
box
unbelievable.
with a head inside.
All right. Well,
Woo!
let's Brooks, let's talk about hearts. So the heart pumps 2,000 gallons of blood every day. An electrical system controls the rhythm of your heart, and this electrical system is called what? Is it A, the cardiac conduction system? Is it B, the cardiovascular system? Or is it C, the circulatory system?
I mean, it's got to be A because that's the only one I haven't heard of.
Yes, it is A. That is correct. Kelly, the first open heart surgery was performed by Daniel Hale Williams, who was one of the first Black cardiologists in the United States at the time. What year was this surgery? Was it A, 1893, B, 1953, or C, 1976?
B.
That is incorrect. Brooks, do you want to try to steal 1893?
Yeah, it's A.
It is
Whoa.
A.
They were doing open heart surgery in the 1800s?
Yes.
The first one, it's not like it was good.
For sure.
Right. Fun
Wow.
fact, the first implantable pacemaker was used in 1958. Arne Larsen, who received the pacemaker, lived longer than the surgeon who implanted it.
Whoa.
He died at 86 of a disease that was unrelated to the heart.
Cool.
Okay. Brooks, most heart attacks happen on a Monday. Blank is the most common day of the year for heart attacks to happen. Is it A, tax day, B, Christmas day, or C, Thanksgiving day?
Wait, isn't tax day? Tax day is always the 15th. I don't know. I will go with Thanksgiving.
That is incorrect, Kelly. Tax day or Christmas day?
Tax day.
It is Christmas day.
Yeah, people are sad.
People are sad.
sad.
They're eating a
Well,
They've
lot.
been drinking
Because-
since Thanksgiving.
I thought that you get heart attacks from overexcitement. Like,
Maybe,
Oh.
yeah.
Stimulus.
That's
Maybe it's people that are getting really nice gifts.
yeah.
Maybe they saw Santa Claus. A car with a head inside.
all right, Kelly. Last question.
Okay.
Kelly, can you die from a broken heart?
Yes.
Do you know what a broken heart is?
No.
That's okay. I'm going to give you a point anyway for knowing you could die from a broken heart. Do you know, Brooks, do you know the difference between a broken heart and a heart attack?
I mean, a broken heart could be any number of things. You could have a bad heart valve. You could have a hole in your heart. I mean, it depends on what you mean by a broken heart. Are you talking about sadness?
Sadness.
Mm-hmm.
So you could die of
'Cause I'm
like,
like,
sadness, broken heart.
I have no idea.
Okay. A heart attack is heart disease. So they have very similar symptoms. A heart attack is heart disease, and a broken heart syndrome is just caused by a rush of stress hormones from an emotional or physical stress event. So heart disease, like plaque and arteries
Right,
and
right,
yada,
right.
yada, yada.
It
That's
takes
a
more
heart
time to
attack.
develop.
Yes. Whereas a broken heart is just like a rush of
like-
stress hormones.
Usually from like the trauma of losing a loved one or something,
Yes.
which is why like a lot of couples, if they've been together for a long time, the husband dies, the wife dies like the next week or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you go,
It's going to be me.
I'm
and
going
you.
with.
I told you what to do with my body.
Yes, yes, you
I
did.
forgot what it was. What did I
You
say?
want me to?
Donate it to an auto body shop.
Yes, that's what it was.
Exactly.
So one of the jokes that we have in the show, Brooks, is we used to have this bit about mimes that never worked.
Oh, that's what I want you
And
to do.
so we have, over the years, a running joke is like, well, if all else fails, we'll just bring back the mimes. So I had a song written for Kelly for her birthday, and the last part of the song was, bring back the mimes, bring them on back, bring them on back. And so for Kelly's funeral, she wants me to play the song, dress up like a mime, act like a mime, and she's going to clear it with her family
Yeah,
first because
and
I was concerned about what
Right.
the family would
and
think.
have the reveal of the casket opening at the end of the song and me being
She
shot
springs up
with it
as
in
a
full
mime.
mime. Yeah.
So
I like
want
it.
it to happen.
Nick
Yeah.
Swartzen.
Yeah.
Nick Swartzen has a good joke about how when he dies, he wants it to be fun, and his body will not be in the casket; it will come down on wires, and it's a funny bit. That's all.
I love it.
And it sounds like a fun time at your wedding. I mean, yep, your wedding. I meant to
Yes.
say that, not funeral.
Same thing.
Yes.
What's the difference? As long as it's me and you and mimes, it
Yeah,
could be a
who
wedding or a
cares?
funeral. It's all good.
All right, well, guys, that was I Heart You. And now we're to our last subject today.
Perfect. All right, we've made it to the end of the day, kids. We're going to camping class because I know you guys both like the outdoors, right? Brooks, is it true you like to camp and you like to
Yeah,
be?
I was just camping this last week. I camped more in this quarantine. No, that's not true. I would say 20% of my time has been spent camping.
That's amazing. Where have you been going?
I've driven up to I just go on road trips. I drove down into Mexico, camped in Mexico, and drove up to Montana twice.
Wow.
Kayaked down the Colorado River. I just I spent like a month here before I spin out and like just go on a road trip where I have no idea where I'm going.
Yeah, I love that. That's amazing. That sounds like a lot of fun.
I haven't been camping, but I've been road tripping a lot, and it's the only thing keeping me sane during this time. I would like to camp, but I'm so cold at night, so I'm waiting for it to get a little warmer.
It's bad timing right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Was it cold this weekend when you were away?
It was. I was camping. It's the fucking, what was it called? The Mojave National Preserve.
Oh, okay.
That's my favorite place in the world.
Really?
Yeah, I love that place. I just had sort of like a very spiritual experience there. I drove through it by myself and like almost got a flat tire driving on all those crazy bumpy roads. And I saw like bunnies and hawks and cows and like I just saw all these animals and there was nobody there. It was
nobody there.
It just felt so magical.
Cool.
I love that place.
Well, maybe we could camp when it's a little warmer.
Yeah, I'd love to. I've been wanting to camp there.
Well, you could camp there. I mean, our only problem, it wasn't cold. It was just windy. We were there in a sandstorm. So that was, that kind of fucked shit up. But
yeah, that sounds intense.
You could go camp there right now. It's just look at the wind.
Okay.
Check the wind advisory.
Good to know.
Good advice. All right. Well, let's see how much more you know about good camping advice during this game that I've called Oh, I Will Survive. Or maybe it's called Stranded Sally and the Survivalists, which is maybe the name of our next band. Or because there does happen to be a Kanye West kind of through line to this story. Camp Yeezy and the Treesies.
Oh, okay. I didn't know we were going Kanye.
I don't know. It just came out.
Okay.
It just came out. He wanted to be part of this experience, and he is.
Great.
Because I don't know if you heard that they're going through a divorce.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I did hear that. Yeah.
Have you heard?
Did you just find that out this week?
I found it out no, a little longer. I've known for a little while.
Okay.
I'm
proud of you.
I didn't know that.
Well, it's happening.
It's happening.
All right.
Who could have guessed? Seems like true love.
They seemed totally stable.
And he seemed easy and manageable to deal with.
Yeah.
They seemed like neither one of them were in it for any wrong reasons.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
True love.
Yeah. All right, Lindsey, I'm going to start with you.
Yes.
All right. I know you're consumed by grief over Kim and Kanye's fractured relationship. So you decide to get away for the weekend on a little camping adventure. You drive up to the mountains, you set up your campsite, and then you take off on a hike just to clear your head.
Yes.
But as you're pondering about how the impending divorce will undoubtedly affect Northa's burgeoning oil painting career, did you see that she is an oil painter?
No, I didn't.
Oh, so yeah, she was on Kim's Instagram. She showed a picture of North's painting that she did, and it was like of the mountains, and it was like really, really good, and everyone's like blasting her like she didn't paint that, like she's too young, because it's like really good. And she's like, don't come for my kid. It's like a whole scandal.
I didn't hear
about the oil painting
scandal.
So anyway, so you're thinking about that, right? And you realize, oh my gosh, you've lost the trail, you don't know where you are. But if you can just figure out which way is north, no pun intended, you think that you can probably make it back to your campsite before nightfall. So which one of these is not a way to figure out the directions?
Okay.
You're trying to find north. All right. So A, put a stick in the ground, mark it with a stone where the end of the shadow falls. Wait for a half an hour. The shadow will have moved and gotten either shorter or longer. Place another stone at the end of this shadow. If you stand at a perpendicular angle to the stick, you will be facing north.
Wow.
This is for the northern hemisphere only, obviously. B.
Wow.
Yep. Look at the moss on the trees. The south-facing side of the tree will have the most moss as it gets the least amount of sun and will consequentially be the dampest. Or C, hold your analog watch horizontally in the palm of your hand and point the hour hand towards the sun. The midway point between the hour hand and 12 o'clock points to north.
Wow. I'm going to go with...
Which one is not?
I'm going to go with C is not.
That is incorrect.
Oh, man.
Brooks, do you want to steal?
It's B because the northern part would have the moss.
That is correct. Ding, 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 ding. He's a true Yeezy survivalist.
Wow.
Wow. All right.
But I didn't know C sounded made up.
I read it on a couple different websites. I think it's
No,
real.
I'm saying I believe you. I'm just saying.
I know.
I did not. I've never heard of
It's
that.
nuts. Yeah. And of course, if you're in daylight savings time, you have to subtract an hour. It gets very confusing.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Brooks, number 2.
That's great because we always know if we are or aren't.
I have
Right.
literally will never know.
I'll
and now
never
I just
know.
intentionally refuse to learn.
Yeah.
The worst people ever are the ones that you know how we're in the bad time right now? I just call it bad time, good
Yeah.
time.
That's a good
And the assholes who are like, this is actually what it's supposed to be all the time. I'm like, well, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we want the other one.
Yeah. Shut up. Are
And
you a
it's
farmer?
so confusing. Like my friends in Arizona, I never know what time it is there because they don't change.
I can't figure it all out.
Ugh.
I know some literally never change.
They never change. There are
Florida.
sometimes an hour difference, and there are
Right.
I mean,
sometimes.
not Florida. I'm sorry. Arizona's the only one who doesn't change. It's
Yeah.
like the one thing that they do right.
Right.
If we could all just be more like Arizona.
Yeah.
But just in that way. Okay, great. So, Brooks, you're on your way back to camp, but then you start to hear some footsteps behind you. Is it Kanye here to grieve alone in the solace of nature? Maybe you can take him to your campsite, play guitar by the fire to soothe him to sleep, and when he hears your melodious voice, he'll be completely enraptured, fall in love with you, take you on tour with him, support your rise to fame, only to become jealous, bitter, and more unhinged until you're even more famous than him, and then he kills himself. Wait, that's A Star Is Born. Whatever, a boy can dream.
Wow.
But even better, it's not Kanye, Gaga, or Bradley Coops. It's a cougar, and she is stalking you like the paparazzi. Which one of
This
these?
happened to me.
Really?
Mountain lion.
Wow.
All right. Well, this is so you know what to do, I'm sure, to try to get away from them, which is not my question. What do you do if you're being attacked? They've caught up to you and they're attacking you. Do you A, play dead, B, fight back, or C, compliment her and offer to buy that cougar some drinks? Hey-o.
I think you would want to fight back.
That is correct.
Yeah.
They're not, because I mean, like, it's not like a bear where it's like, you're not going to win. I mean, you're also not going to win against a cougar, but
Right.
like you might be able to like inflict some
Yeah.
sort of pain on it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. That's exactly
Brooks, we saw
Wow.
our very first, what we think was a mountain lion at Griffith Park this week.
right. We don't know. We saw a shadow under the trees.
No, I saw her butt. I saw her little booty go under the thing.
You know it was a
Ooh, that's
girl.
fun.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like a little booty, like a little puma booty.
Shout
Wait.
out.
So what happened, Brooks? So you were being stalked by a mountain, or you saw a mountain lion?
Stalking us. We walked up on one, and like it
Whoa.
went like it goes like goo, 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 goo. Like their growl is weird and guttural. And we were shooting it for my travel show. I have a camping show on All Things Comedy. It's called Travels and Such.
Oh, sweet.
And it's in the episode. It's episode 2. Nick Turner's in that episode.
Okay,
Yay,
we'll
I'll
watch
have to
it.
watch that.
Ran, not what you're supposed to do. You're
Idiot.
supposed to make yourself big, clap, throw rocks.
Oh
yeah,
my
exactly.
God.
And don't turn your back on it and back away slowly.
What a loser
Right.
Nick is.
And he just lost his shit and ran, which is exactly what you're not supposed to do because that kicks in their instinct. As soon it's just think about a house cat. It's the same.
Yeah.
Some things like moving quickly, darting around, they chase it
Yeah.
instinctively. Nick
Yeah.
Turner. I always knew he was dumb. All right, let's keep going. Lindsay.
Yes.
Well, you got attacked, but you fought back. You did it right. You went for the eyes and the balls, just like they taught you in self-defense class,
Yeah.
and that cougar is dead.
Dead.
It's almost sunset, and you're still too far from camp to risk going back now. There could be more cougars where this one came from. Your best bet is to skin it, wear the skin, build a fire, and eat its flesh.
Wow.
Day one of a perfectly normal weekend getaway.
Yeah.
To complement the flavor of cougar meat, you decide to add some locally foraged mushrooms. Luckily, you know how to tell if they're poisonous or not, okay?
Yes.
You know that poisonous mushrooms, A, are often red, B, often have brown or tan gills as opposed to white gills, or C, sometimes have a veil-like ring of tissue that looks a bit like a mini cap beneath the cap.
Oh. I think A is not a thing.
That is incorrect.
Let's see.
I would
That is
guess C,
incorrect.
Really?
C's not correct.
So actually, 2 of them are correct. I sort of maybe wrote the question wrong. they can't. Poisonous mushrooms are often red.
Yeah.
Poisonous mushrooms
Yeah,
often
you got it
have.
right then.
No, but you're saying
I thought which one means poisonous.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So you did get it right. My apologies.
okay. So
You
what,
got it right. You got it right.
what's
You got it right.
poisonous?
It's my fault for the way I worded the question and then interpreted it. Yes, poisonous mushrooms are often red. And yes, you're right, Brooks. They often have the veil-like ring of tissue, like a mini cap beneath the cap. And then
Yeah, because beef sounds like what you eat.
yeah, so and then I reversed that one. So they often have the brown
White?
the brown or tan gills are the ones that you can eat.
Yes.
The white gills are poisonous.
Okay, that's what I
generally.
thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you got it right. My apologies.
All right.
Woo.
Just like went and looked at a bunch of mushrooms in Big Sur not that long ago, and I asked myself these same questions, so I thought I would maybe get it right.
Great. Good job. All right, Brooks, you made the wrong decision with the mushrooms, and now you're actually tripping balls. So maybe it was the right decision. Who can say? You ask the cougar head atop your head, but it does not answer. It is silent like the stars. Wait, what's that? A human voice in the distance? It sounds a little bit like Kanye? Like Kanye crying? Is this possible? You follow the sound of the voice and the wails down to a clearing where Kanye is crying over the dead body of Kim Kardashian. Will you help me dispose of her, he asks. Of course, says the cougar head atop your head. I've been waiting for you. Based on Casper's law of decomposition, the cougar continues, our best bet for a quick decomp, which is surely what Kim would have wanted, and the best way to avoid being caught is A, burying her, B, throwing her into the river, or C, leaving her where she lies. So based on Casper's law of decomposition, which one is going to make her decompose the fastest?
I guess C.
That is correct. Leaving her
You
where
ever
she
see
lies.
that Nine Inch Nail, the video where they show like a fox decomposing like super fast?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and then Trent Reznor's like fucking brooding behind it.
And we all found it attractive, which is
Yeah.
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 We
That's
like
what's wrong with all of us.
rotting animals.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Casper's law of decomposition. So did you give him a point for that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, great.
I think.
It's if all other factors are equal, then where there is free access to air, a body decomposes twice as fast as if immersed in water and 8 times faster than if buried in the earth.
Wow.
Just, food for thought.
So if you're going to kill the body, just leave it out in the open. Don't try to bury it.
Right. And then also animals might attack it too. So then it looks like an animal. That was what I was also thinking. Then it looks like a cougar might get it or other animals might get it. And then they might not be able to trace it back to you. And they're like, oh, she got attacked by an animal.
It's gonna be tough if any one of the three of us murders someone with someone else who wasn't on this podcast,
Right.
and we have to convince them we don't bury it.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And we'll just leave it as it is.
Man.
Just leave it right there and we'll get off free.
Trust me, I know. I have studied this, bro.
It doesn't seem like it's gonna make a lot of sense, but
just leave it out.
yeah.
And so that's it. Yeah, great. And the moral of the story is that you guys are charged with murder.
Oh,
so that's
great.
That's how the story ends.
So
Unfortunately,
we wanted to go camping.
Oh, actually, this is what happened. Sorry. Unfortunately, you two were so high, you decided to burn the body instead, which caused a forest fire.
Oh no.
When the ashes settled, a criminal investigation was launched into the disappearance of Kim Kardashian, and Kanye and yourself have been formally charged with first-degree murder and accessory to murder, respectively.
Wow.
So, congratulations.
It was like one of us is an accessory.
You're
did
an
not
accessory.
do it.
You're an
Yeah.
accessory. You didn't do it, but you definitely helped burn the body, which was
We left it there.
We tried to leave it there, but then
tried
we
to-
ate the mushrooms.
You ate the
and
mushrooms,
things
you
got
would
a little out of control.
It's okay. Either
Wow.
way, Kim is dead. and
Well, that was a fun, lighthearted story about fun camping times.
yeah. I mean, let's go camping, you guys.
All right, guys. Well, that's our game. We're gonna do a little tally up the points and see
Great.
where we're at. Now
I'm still upset about my math.
don't be upset about your math. You know what? You'll come on, Nick. You and Nick will come on and you can compete against each other and we'll do a very hard math quiz. Okay, so here's our little rule that we've been doing. If my points and Kelly's points are less than Brooks points, Brooks is going to be the winner. So if
Right.
we combine our points, so Marsha's going to tally up the points.
Go for it, Marsh.
And the Kelly and Lindsey total score together is 10 points.
Okay, and Brooks is
our winner
Ooh.
with 16 points.
Wow.
Wow.
Champion. You're our valedictorian, Brooks. So you get
Brooks.
to tell us, fuck you, I'm smarter. Look us in the eyes, tell us, fuck you, I'm smarter. And then you get to give a valedictorian speech.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I will say I quit going. I had a 4.0 in high school until the last quarter when I realized high school doesn't matter. I'm already into the University of Iowa with these scholarships that like they're not going to take those away. So I
Right.
stopped going to high school.
Perfect.
And I got like a 1.2 GPA for my last quarter, and then my mom was so upset because like, you know what, she's like, why didn't you just finish? I go, what? You don't need to. This is unimportant. So I was not valedictorian because I realized high school does not matter.
Yeah.
And is that your speech for today? Is that
My speech for today is once you're into college, they're not going to rescind your offer unless you do something bad. You do not need to try anymore
Great.
in high school.
Good?
Wow.
We've got some practical advice here.
I love
from
it. It's
Brooks
really
Wheelan.
uplifting.
Yeah.
I love it.
And then if you don't mind, just give us your best, fuck you, I'm smarter, like you mean it.
I don't love telling people I don't know that well. But okay. You guys are great, but I'm sorry to have to tell you, fuck you, I'm smarter.
Perfect.
Fuck off and fuck you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Brooks, thanks
Awesome.
for doing our show. We want to do your plugs now. Plug anything you want to plug for our listeners. Where can they find you?
Oh yeah, go listen to my podcast Entry Level with Brooks Wheelan. I interview famous comedians, professional wrestlers, musicians about all the jobs that they had before, up until they got to quit and become make a living doing whatever their profession is now. Nice. So it's really fun. If you like comedy, I've definitely interviewed somebody that you have heard of or would want to hear more about. So check it out. Entry Level with Brooks Wheelan.
Awesome. And what's your Instagram?
Brooks Wheelan.
Brooks Wheelan. And we are at Kelly and Lindsey. You can follow us there. Rate, review, subscribe. Tell your friends. Brooks, thank you so much. This was really fun.
It was fun, and now I'm just like want to do some math, man. I'm over here looking at this.
Yeah, screw the nice day. Screw your walk. Sit down and do some hard math.
Well, listen, if you ever want to come back and redeem yourselves, we hate writing math quizzes, but we'll write one for you.
We got. I mean, it was addition. It was addition.
Sometimes
actually, it was
multiplication. It was multiplication. Give yourself a break. Percentages too. Come on, you're doing your best.
Slut.
All right. Well, thanks, guys.
All right,
Well,
Brooks.
Thank you so freaking much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Bye.
Fuck you, I'm smarter.